Assalamu alaikum students and a very good morning to you all. How are you all? And tell me about your vacation. Did you enjoy your vacation? Please tell me, am I audible to you all? Can you hear me? Okay, I'm waiting for your response. I'm good, Alina. Thank you so much. What about you? Very nice on. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so welcome back to the classes, and from now onwards we will have our virtual classes. Okay, it means we'll have some classwork as well. So from today onwards you have to make sure that you take your copies and your books along with you, okay, when you take the classes. Yes, you have to collect your literature copy from the school today. Okay, everyone. So this is our English literature lecture, lecture number 19. And we are going to start our new lesson today, the picnic. Okay, we'll read page number 55 till 57. So please keep your books in front of you and take your pencils in your hands so you can underline the new words and RTCs. Okay. Alina Salman, if you're having any trouble, yes, you may take it tomorrow. Because I'm going to post your literature homework today, okay? So if you can collect it today, it's well and good. But if you're having any difficulty, you may collect it tomorrow, it's okay. Okay, so all of you are having your books, your literature books in front of you. Shall I start now? Very nice, very good. Okay, beta, please, I am repeating, from tomorrow onwards, you have to keep your copies along with your books and stationery box with you, okay, while taking the class, because from tomorrow onwards, we'll be doing the classwork as well, okay? We'll be doing the classwork as well in our classes, okay? So let's start our today's lecture, The Picnic. Page number 59. MacDougall's Cave. It is the name of cave. Okay, cave is ghar in Urdu. Okay, yes, cave is ghar. Okay, now everyone please try to concentrate on the lecture. And if you have any question related to the lecture, you may ask, yes, you may ask in the chat box, okay? So please keep your fingers on the line where I'm reading. The Picnic, MacDougall's Cave. Before starting the reading, let me review the previous lesson. What was Tom's new adventure? We read in the last lesson that Tom and Huck planned to unlock the door of room number 2 of the inn, okay? And the room number 2 of the inn was a mystery. Why it was a mystery? Why the room number 2 of that inn was a mystery? Yes, Iman, we'll start doing our work from tomorrow. Today we are going to read the lesson, okay? Okay, On is saying that because there was Engine Joe. Anyone else? Very good, Alina Salman. Alina Salman is saying because it was locked all the time, but innkeeper saw light from that room. Very good. Very good, Varda. Okay, on. So room number 2 was a mystery as told by the innkeeper. Okay, the innkeeper told that room number 2 was a mystery and it was kept locked all the time and no one was ever seen coming out of it except at night. Okay, so that's why that room number 2 was a mystery. So Tom and Huck planned that they would watch the room every night. And when Injun Joe would go out of that room, they would go in and get the box full of money. So it was their plan. Okay. And the duty, please turn off your camera. And the student who is appearing here with the name Oppo A83, please rename yourself and appear here with your registered name. So it was Huck's duty to keep the watch. Okay, he was keeping the watch outside the inn. And what was Tom's duty? What was Tom's job? Yes, Suhema, Alina, on, anyone? Huck's duty was to keep the watch outside the inn, right? So what was Tom's job? What was Tom's duty? Yes, very nice. Tom's duty was to go inside the room number 2 of the inn and to get the treasure box. Very good, Satsuhe. Very nice. So this was a quick review of the previous lesson. Now we are going to start our today's lecture. If you have any question or any confusion related to the previous lesson, you may ask me. Otherwise, I am going to move ahead. Okay, so shall I continue? You are not having any question, any query? Okay, Alina, thank you. Okay, on. Tom heard some good news on Friday morning. His friend Becky Thatcher and her family had come back to St. Petersburg the night before. He was so busy playing with Becky and his friends that he almost forgot about Injun Joe and the treasure. As you remember, Tom was at home, right? And Huck was doing his job. He was keeping the watch outside the inn. And Tom was so excited that he almost forgot about Injun Joe and the treasure. Okay? Why was he happy? Why was he excited? He was excited to know that Becky Thatcher and her family had come back to St. Petersburg. And do you remember where had they gone? Where did Becky go with her family? We have read this in previous chapters. Can anybody name that place? Excellent, Sana Hafiz. Very good. But Sana, you are giving me an answer of her returning back to the place, right? No, no, Yusera. Excellent, Meeram Vakar. Excellent, Suhema. She went with her family to Constantinople for stay, okay? And she came back to St. Petersburg. That's why Tom was very excited. Is it clear, everyone? Becky went with her family to Constantinople, okay, and she returned back to St. Petersburg, okay. Becky's mother had arranged a picnic for Becky and her friends for the next day. Tom was so excited that he could not sleep. He hoped that Huck might come and call for him. Then they would find the treasure and he could show it to Becky the next day. But he was so disappointed. No signal came that night. Who arranged a picnic for Becky and her friends? Who arranged picnic for Becky and her friends? Shanti, Becky and her family had gone to Constantinople, okay? Constantinople, and she returned back to St. Petersburg. Very good, Hafsa Amir. Hafsa is a new student. She is your new class fellow, okay? Very nice. Hafsa is giving me the correct answer. Miram, very nice. Iman, good. Very good, Satsuhe. So who arranged the picnic for Becky and her friends? Becky's mother, okay? Becky's mother arranged a picnic for Becky and her friend for the next day. And Tom was so excited that he couldn't sleep, okay? And he was hoping that Huck might come and call for him to go for the treasure hunt, and so he could show the treasure to Becky the next day, okay? But he was disappointed because no signal came that night. At 10 o'clock next morning, a large group of children met outside Judge Thatcher's house. There were no parents. The children were thought to be safe with the young ladies of 18 and few young gentlemen of 23. So the children who were there for the picnic, they were not there with their parents, okay? An old steam ferry boat was used for the trip. Soon, the happy crowd walked up the main street, carrying heavy picnic baskets full of good things to eat. So Becky and her friends went for a picnic by an old steam ferry boat, and it was arranged by Becky's mother. Now tell me, what is ferry boat? I told you in the previous lessons the meaning of ferry boat. Do you remember the meaning? What is ferry boat? Yes, Hadika, you are raising your hand. You want to answer me? Now I am asking another question. What is ferry boat? Very good, Yusera. The boat which carries passengers. Good. The boat which carries passenger is called ferry boat. Excellent, Meeram. Very nice, Alina. Ushna, good. Suhema, very nice. So a boat that carries passengers is called ferry boat, okay? So what happened till yet? Tom heard a good news on Friday morning that his friend Becky Thatcher and her family had come back to St. Petersburg, and Becky's mother arranged a picnic for Becky and her friends. Okay, Becky and her friends went for a picnic by an old ferry boat. It was arranged by Becky's mother. So they were carrying heavy picnic baskets and it was full of things to be eaten at the picnic spot, okay? Sid was sick, so he had to stay at home, and Mary stayed behind to play with him. So Sid and Mary stayed home. Okay. The last thing Mrs. Thatcher said to Becky was, "You won't get back till late. Perhaps you'd better stay all night with one of the girls that lives near the ferry landing, child." So she asked her daughter to stay at any girl's home, okay, at night. "Then I'll stay with Susie Harper, mother." So she said that she's going to stay with Susie Harper. "Very well, and mind you behave yourself and don't be any trouble." So mother asked her to behave nicely there and not to create trouble, okay? As they walked along, Tom said to Becky, "I'll tell you what we'll do. Instead of going to Harper's, we'll climb up Cardiff Hill and stop at Widow Douglas." So Tom said that instead of going to Harper's, they will climb up Cardiff Hill and stop at Widow Douglas' home. Okay, so they decided to stay at Widow Douglas. Who is widow? Do you know the meaning of widow? Yes. Who is widow? Yes, Zain is giving me answer in Urdu. It means Beva. Beva is the lady whose husband is dead. Okay. Yes, very good, Iman. The lady whose husband, yes. Alina is saying the lady whose husband is dead. Very good. So they decided to stay at Widow Douglas. Okay. She'll have ice cream, and she has it most days, and she'll be very glad if you go to see her. Okay, so they were saying that they'll get ice cream if they go to Widow Douglas. Okay. "Oh, that will be fun." Then Becky thought for a minute. But what will mother say? Because Becky said to her mother that she is going to stay at Susie's home, right? So now she started thinking that what will mother say? How will she ever know? Tom said that how will she ever know that you stayed at Widow Douglas' home? The girl thought again, then said slowly, "I know it's wrong, but..." "Don't worry," said Tom. So she realized that she is going to do something wrong, but she was convinced by Tom. Okay, Tom said that don't worry, your mother won't know, and so that's what's harm. Tom said that your mother is not going to know about it, so there is no harm in it. Okay, your mother won't know, and so what's the harm? And all she wants is for you to be safe. Okay. Yes, who is raising the hand? Yes, on, your answer is correct. All she wants is for you to be safe. I expect she would have said to go there if she'd thought of it. I know she would. So Tom was convincing Becky to go to Widow Douglas, and he was saying that there is no harm in going there, and if her mother had known about it, So she would have said it herself. Okay. So they decided to say nothing to anybody about their plans for that evening. So Tom and Becky planned to climb the Cardiff Hill and stayed at Widow Douglas. Okay, they thought that she would be glad to see them and would give them ice cream. Okay, so they decided not to disclose their plan to anybody else. On what are you trying to ask? Okay, you are trying to ask about this line. Oh, that will be fun. Who said this? Is this your question? Okay. Oh, that will be fun because he was saying this because they first decided to stay at Susie's mother's home, and then later Tom convinced Becky to stay at Widow Douglas. Okay, so they were planning about it, and they were saying that it is going to be fun. But Becky was a bit confused because she said to her mother that she is going to stay at Susie's home, right? So here Tom is convincing Becky to stay at Widow Douglas. Is it clear on? Oppo and Wissam Kashif, kindly rename yourself. Appear here with your registered name. The students who are here with the name Oppo and Wissam Kashif, kindly rename yourself. Yes, Hadika, you are raising your hand. You want to ask something? Hadika, do you want to ask something? Okay, so let's continue. The ferry boat took them down the river for about 3 miles. It stopped near a wood, and they all ran off to explore. They played for a long time in the sun, and then they were glad to sit and eat all the things in the picnic baskets. After lunch, they rested in the shade of the trees. Someone said, "Who's ready to go to the cave?" So when they reached there, they started running, and they were so happy that they started playing for a long time in the sun, and they were so glad to sit there and eat all the things that they had brought in the picnic baskets. Okay. Then soon someone asked that who's ready to go to the cave? And you know, everybody was ready to go to the cave. Everybody was. Candles were given out, and the children rushed up the hill. Rushed up means to run, okay, to move fast. The mouth of the cave was high up the hillside. The opening looked like the letter A. How did the opening of the cave look like? Yes, students, how did the opening of the cave look like? The opening of very good, the cave looked like the letter A. Excellent, very nice everyone. There was a large wooden door at the entrance. The door was open. The candles were lit, and a long line of children started walking carefully down the main passage. So high the hill, there was the mouth of the cave, okay? And the opening of the cave looked like just a letter A. And there was a large wooden door at the entrance, and that door was open. And in that cave, the candles were lit, and a long line of children, means the children were queued to go inside the cave, okay? MacDougall's cave was just a lot of grooved passages. Grooved means zigzagged, okay? Grooved means not straight, it means bent passages, okay? MacDougall's cave was just a lot of grooved passages that ran into each other and out again and led nowhere. So it was so confusing that the passages ran into each other and out again and led nowhere. Okay, they went a very long way under the hill. You could walk for many days and nights down in the earth and never find the end of the cave. No one knew where all the cave passages went. Passage means the pathway, okay? There were so many that it was impossible to know. Most of the young men knew some of the passages quite well, and no one usually went far beyond the known part because it was so confusing. Tom Sawyer knew as much of the cave as anyone. So MacDougall's cave's entrance was just like the letter A, and it had many grooved passages that ran into each other, and one could walk for many days and nights down into the earth and could never find the end of the cave, okay? Because the passages were running into each other. And no one knew where all the cave passages went except Tom. They walked down the passage for about 3/4 of a mile. Then small groups began to run along a side path and jump out on their friends, where the passages met again. It was great fun. They played games in the cave like this for a long time. So the children started running and they were coming back to the place from where they started running. So it was fun for the children. They were enjoying it. Okay, they were enjoying it. Yes, I am receiving your answers. Everybody is giving me correct answer. Very nice. Hani, very good. Hafsa, Hadika, Suhema on. Excellent. Arisha Amer. Keep giving me answers like this. And please do ask the questions if you have related to the lecture, okay? So in the cave, the children were enjoying, they were playing, they were running, and it was great fun for them, okay? The children walked down the passage for about 3/4 of a mile. Then a small group of children began to run along a side path and jump on their friends. It was great fun and the children played games and enjoyed in the cave for a long time. Okay. Please turn off your camera. Oppo A83, you haven't renamed yourself yet. I'm not going to mark your attendance as I don't know your name. Same goes with the Wissam. Dilaves is asking me what is a ferry boat. Okay, a ferry boat is a boat that carries passengers. Okay, the boat that carries passengers is called a ferry boat. Okay, Dilaves, is it clear now? Yes, Hamna Tariq, you are raising your hand. You want to ask something? Okay, you may ask me in the chat box. Okay, okay, Dilaves, good. Saad Sohail, please turn off your camera. So at last one group after another came back to the mouth of the cave, and they were tired and dirty, covered in candle wax, but very happy. So they were so tired and they were dirty and they were covered with the candle wax, okay, but they were so happy, they were enjoying it. It had been a very good day. They were surprised to find it was dark outside, for they had not thought of the time when they were inside the cave. So when they were inside the cave, they were so busy in playing that they didn't care about the time, and it was dark outside. The ferry bell had been ringing for half an hour. When the ferry boat left, the only person who cared about the wasted time was the captain. So there was a captain who was leading the ferry boat. He was so worried about the time because he had to leave that place. Otherwise, no one else was caring for the time, okay, and they were so excited, they were so busy in playing inside the cave that they didn't care about the time. So that's all. Here are some key points. Becky Thatcher and her family had come back to St. Petersburg. As I told you, they went to Constantinople, okay. Becky's mother had arranged a picnic for Becky and her friends for the next day. An old steam ferry boat was to be used for the trip, and Mrs. Thatcher asked Becky to stay all night with one of the girls that lives near the ferry landing. Tom said to Beck, Tom said to Becky that instead of going to Harper's, they would climb up at Widow Douglas, and she would be very glad to see her. Children played for a long time in the sun. Everybody was ready to go to the cave, and MacDougall's cave was just a lot of crooked paths and passages, okay? And they went a very long way under the hill. They played games in the cave for a long time, and they were tired and dirty, covered in candle wax, but they were very happy. Okay, so these were the key points of the chapter that we have read today. Here is your home task. I am going to post your assignment today, and you have to do the question answers of the previous lesson, The Room at the Inn. You have already done the word meanings, word sentences, and RTC of that lesson. Now, the only thing that is remaining is the question answers. I'm going to post the homework assignment. You have to do it in your literature copy. Your language and literature copies are here in the school. Language copy will stay with me, and you are going to collect your literature copy today from the school, okay? And then you will do this assignment in your literature copies. I hope it is clear. I hope you are going to do this work very neatly in the literature copy. Please maintain the index as shown in the assignment sheet, okay? Now, if you have any question related to the lecture or your homework assignment, you may ask me in the chat box or you may use your mic as well. I'm waiting for your question. I'm taking your attendance till then. If you have any question, you may ask me. Okay, the student who is here with the name Oppo A83, I'm not going to mark your attendance today because I don't know your name. You have to appear here with your registered name, okay? Please try to appear here with your real name, with your registered name. Please rename yourself Oppo A83 so I can mark your attendance, otherwise you will be marked absent. Okay, Oppo A83 is Haya Kamal. Haya Kamal, kindly rename yourself and I want to see your name, your real name here in the next class, okay? You have the rename option. No, beta, you don't have to come from tomorrow. You will be given a date as announced. From now onwards, you'll be having your virtual classes, okay? You don't have to come from tomorrow. Sorry. You don't have to come from tomorrow. Okay, Shanti, I'll write it on your copy. Oh, okay. Alina, I'll tell you in which copy you have to work, okay? For example, tomorrow I'm going to make you do some word meanings, so you'll be doing in your literature copy, okay? Your teachers will inform you in the beginning or in the end in which copy you have to do your work, okay? Don't worry about that. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you have enjoyed your today's lecture. That's all. Yes. Yes, Beta Varda, you'll do the work in online classes as well. We'll have some classwork as well in our classes, okay? Ushna, as I've already told you that I'm going to post the homework assignment. You have to do the question answers of the previous lessons, okay? The room at the end, yes. Okay, that's all for today. Take care, everyone. I'll be back with another lesson tomorrow. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.